is crazy. He didn't have time to do it because he's had a crazy day. Barely had time to go live. How is everybody doing? Are we doing good? Are we having fun? Are we gonna party down, party down? Yeah, yeah, yeah. How are we? How are those of you who are trickling in like a little leak in a tank? You start as just a drip, 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 and soon there will be a deluge of intelligent, thoughtful, kind, and compassionate, lovely fish family people in here any moment now. Ivy, come here. So, I have a new kitty cat, and I know that catfish, fish, catfish, you know, that's close enough, right? Catfish, cat. So I am happy to introduce Ivy. We don't know if that's her name for good yet. It could be Olive or Piper or Pepper or Ava. But here's a brand new kitty. She just got all her shots and she just got fixed. Oh. She just got all her shots and she just got fixed like 3 days ago. So she's pretty feisty for already being up and running around. She is still taking recommendations. Name recommendations are still being taken. Here's the beautiful kitty herself. Ah! And she doesn't really know how to be held yet, unless she's really sleepy. But she will jump up on my shoulder when I'm like leaning over, which is good. I'm used to having shoulder cats like a pirate because I'm used to taming strays, and they kind of are into that, right? So, ugh. She's a good kitty though, and she's a real good player. She is, oh, Alice is a good name. She is absolutely the most dedicated cat toy player that I have ever come across. Ever. She will literally play and bite down on the toy to the point that she bites it and I can pick it up like this. And I can pick her up like a fish and just carry her around for probably 5 minutes before she lets go. First I thought, oh no, her tooth is stuck or something. Oh, interesting. Pets Corner says, I have Ivy, Hush, Rocky, Tuxedo. You have a Maine Coon kitten and a Tuxedo kitten? Nice. Yeah, this one, she's just a rescue. They don't know which ones are which because they didn't want people adopting cats just to like say they did. But a lot of the ones they have right now are from South Carolina, North Carolina, and they got like a huge influx of kitty cats from the flooded areas that were swept up by animal control. And if they didn't have any chips, if they didn't have any papers or anything, they held them there for a little while, but then they got them out because a lot of them were starving. But what makes me wonder, because they gave us special instructions to like give her this food to put on weight and stuff like that. I think Chuli, like patchouli with her patch. Oh, that's cute. I like that too. Hey, Coro, how's it going? Um, Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, let's see here. I'm gonna see if any history buffs with dark sense of humor can get this one. Come here, sweetie pie. Does anybody know why this cat might get the name Ava? It started as a joke. Ava. Ava kitty. Look at yourself. I don't want to like torture her, but kitty right here. She knows in the mirror, like in the reflection, she already knows that that's her, and she just looks at it for a sec and then just goes. She's a very squirmy little bean. Yes, she is. Cora, yeah, for sure. That's so funny that you just said that. Um, so yeah, I was joking that she should have the name Ava because of her markings. And my wife was like, I don't know. And then she's like, oh, I kind of like that name. And then I told her my reasoning behind it and how, like, we weren't actually going to name her that. And now I kind of like the name Ava. And it doesn't have anything to do with that. Uh, but yeah. Dino says, you got a smart one. We have two brothers, almost 4 years old, and they have no idea how to look at the mirror. Yeah, she's interesting in that also, if I go, hey, Ivy, 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 you don't know what name I'm giving you yet, but hey, look, watch this. She will go and look in the direction I point and not at my hand. And they say that, like, dogs can do that, but not all breeds. They say that that's like a very intelligent thing when they don't just stare at your hand like stupidly wondering what's going to happen, but when they actually follow what you're pointing at. It's like partially the difference it requires in the brain, the way the brain is wired, mirror neurons to be firing, which is interesting in that it gives some level of empathy. And they've known that cats don't cooperate very well in studies. But there's a new study that I saw not too long ago, just before I got this kitty cat, this little girl here. And by the way, I'll tell you how old they think she is in a moment, but how old do you guys think she is? I'll show you her in a sec again, but literally, the amount of hair she's shedding, because I think she was an outside kitty, and then I think they got her and put her inside, because she is loving every second of the heater and the warmth in the house. She wants nothing to do with going outside. She just wants to be indoors all the time. Doesn't want to be near the door when it opens. And that's fine by me. There's so many coyotes and things like that in this neighborhood. And raccoons and other just problem child creatures that, I just assume have her inside near me and being a lap kitty. Okay, holy smokes, that's a lot of hair just very quickly. And I already did this just a second ago. Yeah, short hairs do shed a lot. I wish that I had gotten, like, we said we were going to get a long hair, but then we saw this little kitty and the pound place was full, and we were like, oh, I don't know. Let's see here. Like, we were like, she's so cute, and she wanted to, she was so playful and all of that jazz. But so here she is. She's 2.2 pounds, and she is tiny. I mean, that's my hand right next to her. She's a very tiny kitty. And she just had her, she just got spayed about 3 days ago. So she's doing pretty good for that. And she's already running all over, jumping all over. She's fine. The incision's healed. And she's not picking at it, which is good. And she got a little tattoo. And she got a marker. I had them put a little RFID chip right here between her shoulder blades. So she's all marked as my kitty cat. But she does have a little trouble with the amount she wants to nibble on everything. Interesting. Nirvana Aquatic says the videos that are vertical are not being picked up. It might be because they go as shorts. So they register as shorts, but literally YouTube is alerting 150. That's right, 150 subscribers from the channel. If I stream horizontally, if I stream vertically like we are right now, it gives an invite out to about 1,000, and then if those people, if more than 100 come, it will invite another 1,000 for every 100 or so, is what it seems like, because I've had up to 20,000 people come to live streams by this method. But I'm wondering if they're trying to make it a little more fair, and like they made it too powerful at first, because I mean 20,000 views of just people scrolling through saying what's going on, and they'd be like, I don't know anything about fish, why am I on this channel? So yeah. So how old is Ivy or Ava or Yamaka? I don't know, what's her name gonna be? Camberine face. I don't know what her name's gonna be. Confetti Pepper. Uh, she's a cutie. Let's see here. Fishery, if you remember, shoot me a text or Facebook message and I'll post. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I kind of was late today and I said, I don't know if I'm going to make it because of all the shenanigans I had going on running around. Also, I got a new rheumatologist, a new autoimmunologist, a new endocrinologist, a new dermatologist, a new osteologist for bone density stuff, a new pulmonary doctor, and a new cardiac doctor. So literally, I think I got 7 new doctors today in a team, all leading back to the hospital stay in July and August. But yeah. Hey, Ayumi. I said that really weird. Robert Bennett, hello. How are you doing? You got a notification. All right, well, some people are getting it. And Jessica from Australia, down under. Oh, right on. I'm glad that it's been helpful. I'm glad that it's as helpful as can be. Oh, she's doing a bad thing for the first time, guys. She's getting on the counter. And that's where you don't want to be. You don't want to be on the counter. You don't want to be on the counter. But you sure don't know how to be held, though. You are completely lost by this process, aren't you? She's like, I don't know what's happening here. Johnny, we don't know her name yet. Ivy is what my wife has kind of settled on the last day. But Poppy and Ava and a number of other names have been thrown around. Pepper, So who knows what her name is yet? I'm taking suggestions still. And again, she's a tiny little kitty. They said, guys, that she was 8 or 9 months old. And I don't think there is any way, in that she weighs 2.2 pounds, 1 kilo, and she's just so tiny. Look at her cute little cuteness. And her whole body is like the size of my hand. So, well, I would let the community choose one if it were just my kitty, but it's my wife's kitty too. And my wife is like the woman who is like, I don't like cats. Cats are lame. I'm a dog person. And then literally the other day, she's like, I really miss that stray cat that we had. And I was like, oh yeah? You mean the one that was named Silky, that you know the name of? And that we named and we had around for 2 years? And she's like, yeah, I miss Silky. And I was like, okay. And then for the next 3 weeks, she's like, man, what are we going to do when it's winter? You and I aren't able to have kids, and we don't have anybody to love and snuggle with. And I was like, well, you could love and snuggle with me. She's like, you know what I mean. It's not the same. So this cat kind of worked out in that normally she's not a cat person. All the years I've known her, 12 years or whatever, not a cat person. But all of a sudden, she's all about it, all on board. She's learning about cats. She doesn't know. I miss Silky though. Silky was a good kitty for being an outdoor feral cat. I mean, the how long it took me to get her just to like take food from me and eat it without running away, that took me a year. And it took me a year from the time that I got her to eat food from me to from the time I got her to was able to pet her. So it was just really yeah, rough to lose her. Um Let's see here. What would you recommend for a standout in a 75 gallon? Oh, Ramsey Ledford, welcome also. But a standout fish like a starfish, not a starfish, but you know what I mean, a fish that's a star. I would say, honestly, in a 75, it's a little tough because you don't want to go with anything that's massive. But I think you could get away with some sort of like Oscar or even like 3 to 5 Geophagus earth eaters on sand in like a black water on sandscape, and you could do some cories and then you could do some schooling tetras. I think that also you could do some beautiful angelfish. Um, and they could have some actual room. That's the thing, is so many people keep a lot of fish and they don't even give them the room to like see them behave the way, like the whole exciting aspect of why you keep the fish in a lot of cases is just like the behavior. But I think those are good. An Akara could also be nice, like a big threadfin Akara of some sort, or I mean, you could do a gourami, but they're a little temperamental. And you could I should name the cat. So the cat, Kitty Kitty, what are you doing? She's got the dot on her nose. Look up. Why are you look up on cue all day? And then you just stop. I'm just a sack of minced potatoes. I'm worth nothing to you now, huh? So she's got the little dot on her nose, but she's also got a part in her hair. She's got like a parted hair off to the side slightly, middle slightly. Hold on one sec. Hey, I'm streaming. Hey, this is interrupting the stream.
Hello.
I'll call you.
Hi.
So sorry guys, that was my neighbor. He always shows up right when we're streaming. I don't know how he times it so terribly. But like I won't see the guy for a week and then he shows up right when I'm streaming with you guys. Yeah, he wants fame. No, I did get him into aquariums though, and he has a whole lot of fish now. He's obsessed with them. So this little kitty, come here. Come here, Ivy. Or Pepper or Ava. So if you guys didn't know already, so they said she's 9 months old. I don't think there's any way that she's 9 months old. I think she's more like 5 or 6. But I mean, I'm no cat veterinarian. Oh, look, now she's clawing things. See, so far she's been a very good kitty, but I have a feeling we're gonna get into the I'm a mischievous baddie very soon. She did eat all my cypress leaves off the plant where I had my filterless, feedingless, no water change tank. But anyways, so she's got the part in her hair, like if she had like black 1920s hair, it would be parted in the middle. And then she's got the little black stash or dot right there. So if you didn't work it out already because you're not as sick in the head or a history nerd, I named her Ava jokingly, as in Ava Braun. And I say this with total disgust and disregard for the topic, in that my family are Ashkenazi Jews on my mom's side. But anyways, you gotta laugh or you'll cry, right? So anyhow, I have a sick sense of humor, and so I was calling her Ava in the car, as in Ava Braun. And then I kind of like the name Ava now, but now my wife's like, "You're a terrible person." No. So she's probably right. Let's see here. Johnny Alex in New York. I have the same tap water as you. Kept Neo shrimp in your tap water. Is it possible I can do the same as you? Oh, I'm sure it is. Yeah. Tap water. As long as it has a little bit of hardness, you'll be okay. So I would add crushed coral. If your water is actually like my water, 30 parts per million, and that's mostly chlorine that off gases down to like 10 parts per million. So it's basically RO water, almost nothing in your water. I would say that you can easily have a nice tank. Use a little bit of aqua soil, which will buffer it in the sense that it will hold it right around with the humic material that makes up aqua soils. Depending on the brand, it should hold it right around 6.7 to 7.0, and it is buffered enough that then you won't get a crash with your very, very soft water. However, I still add a little bit of crushed coral, even if I want an acidic tank, because I like that stability. I like having a bank of ions, basically, to run interference or backup for me if need be. So there's that. Let's see here. Uh, Osriana, hello, how are you? Your male cat was dumped on your porch as a kitten, and you named him Conan the Barbarian. You could have named him Moses. Mm. Johnny, thank you, buddy. I appreciate the super chat. Apparently, on the live streams, they're going to be rolling out a new feature called like gifts or something. I think that's what they said they're going to call it. And it's going to be all about like, I'm giving a pearl necklace or I don't know, a diamond ring to my favorite viewer. It's kind of like the whole, what do you call it? The non-player character, the NPC fad that has gotten big. They actually want to use the same thing that they're directly stealing from like TikTok and other platforms ideas. But basically, the idea is they want to have the gifts that are like 10 cents or 15 cents, so that you can shower people with gifts and pre-buy these things. I'm curious to see how it works. You know, there's some live streams you see, and people just, you know, it's kind of sad, unfortunately, to me. And I hope it doesn't ever come off this way. But a lot of people with live streams that get a lot of chat, like a lot of money in their live stream, is because they don't talk to the people in the comments. They don't answer people's questions in chat unless they pay. And it's like a way to get seen. And yeah, it happens on the bigger channels, and I understand that because things get lost in the shuffle. But it's also, it just feels kind of icky to be pay to play with education and like a community that's supposed to be accessible to anybody to some degree. And so I'm always torn on that, like that aspect of it, but we'll see how it all goes. Here's a virtual cat treat for Ava. Right on. Thanks, Nancy B. I appreciate it. She's gonna get one. Yeah, see, Ava is a good name. I like it. It rolls off very oh, Twitch did it first. Okay, yeah. So Twitch did it first. I mean, I don't even know, but yeah. Look, she's just into trouble already. Like already, she's gonna get into whatever she can. So if you guys saw my aquatic arts unboxing recently, I got some King Koopa snails. They're in here. And Ava, what are you doing? And also, I wanted to let you guys know that these guys, the lovely zebra autosynclus, this one just stopped eating and just staring at me, that are all over in my tank, and I believe the Equus pencilfish are at Moonlight Aquatics. These, which were, I paid a stupid $25 for these stupid fish. No, I love these fish. They're very cool. They look like a little pleco, but they're autos. They eat like an auto. Um, but they're only $12.99 at Moonlight. And I'm going to go visit him soon. Also, oh, look who's here, guys. It's Bob. Bob the Betta. Can you fix it? Yes, I don't know. You're a beta. Probably not. Bob, come here, bud. Come here. You always want pets. You always want head pats. And the cat just needs attention more. Um, so yeah, there's a really good deal though on these. There's kind of spotted ones like this, and then there's also more of the stripy ones. I don't know if there's any like collection point difference or if they just vary that way, but they're pretty cool looking and they do a great job. I mean, they do a normal job, but they do a great normal job of it. And yeah, here is that fungi that I was telling y'all about last few weeks, and it's eating the mulm at an alarming rate. But what I'm trying to figure out is I don't see any air bubbles coming off of it. And so I'm very curious, where is the energy getting metabolized? The granularity of the size of the grains of mulm is already basically silt. And what it seems to be turning it into is this completely pulverized red cyanobacteria dust mix right here, this black and red. It's UV reactive too, which is interesting. The red actually glows purple under a UV light. And the green here, we already know that that is UV reactive in the anoxic layers. But I'm just curious, like, what's going on? Because the tetras are hunting down in there. They don't seem bugged by it. And it's staying a very level layer. But it seems to be right where there is the least amount of flow in the aquarium. If the flow comes over there, not much flow at all right now. It's barely a trickle. And I'd say the only place that has less is back here. And we're starting to see again buildup of cyano. But again, it's cyano that is all living below all the mulm. So it's not coming up into the open water and competing for space. It's very similar to what happened here. This tank is the oldest tank I have, I believe, substrate wise. It's either this one or the one in the other room that's this size. But that would be almost 10 years now, untouched, this substrate. And see all the black that's in here now? Well, it fluoresces like a velvety red when you get a UV light on it, and then the green comes through too. But on the side that has no light being shined on it really, there's almost no growth of the cyanobacteria. There's a little bit of the black layer there. There's mulm up here. There's planaria in a thin layer. And then there's lava rocks and things. But all this front glass, it's interesting to me how different that ecosystem is. So I don't know what it all means. I really want to chat with a microbiologist and find out more on that so I can relay it to you guys. Let's see here. Alex, do you have any plans in restarting your tank aqua soil again? Yeah. I'm actually really torn what to do with this tank. We only have one, my wife is not going to let me have any more than these two tanks in this room or out of the room ever. And there's a part of me that wants to just take this tank for a ride and see where it goes over, I think we're at 7 years now. Wait, 7 or 8 years now. And part of me wants to just ride it until the wheels fall off, but another part of me wants to reset and do a nice aquascape, and I just don't know. I mean, I feel like 100,000 subscribers might be like, if we make it there ever, might be a good marker to reset some tanks, you know? Yeah. Dinosauce, speaking of cyanobacteria, how harmful is it to humans? Walk through my garage with my outbreak jar, and my nose, throat instantly flared up. It's not good generally for humans. Humans are on the more sensitive side of responses to it, but it depends on the kind. Some cyanobacteria has cyanotoxins. Some is merely just, I don't know, it doesn't do anything. But quite a bit of what ends up growing around humans in households, mildew areas, things like that, and our aquariums does have cyanotoxins. It appears from cursory research and talking with Tom Barr and a number of other people that the amount of, so like here's more cyanobacteria right here. This tank's real old too, and it's definitely not detrimental. I've never seen any of the cyanobacteria in the tanks. So specifically the stuff that's in the substrate growing like all of this stuff here. I've never seen it off gas enough that it's causing problems. Never seen big bubbly voids. I just see the colors and the different chemistry showing off. So like here's that same red stuff as in the other room. Yet this tank is so depleted that red stuff has all but disappeared except for this patch and that little patch, and that's about it. And it's all iron, sulfur, and clay, and then you've got your black layer of the mulm in the voids between the rocks, and the aqua soil is all gone. There's nothing but a little dingy layer of it. It'd be something to talk about. This was aqua soil at one point too. It's all gone. I mean, there's no aqua soil. It's just dust. And I would reset this tank. This tank, I actually lied. This tank is my oldest tank. This is full of planaria, full of all sorts of nasty stuff. It smells bad. It smells like a crash tank. This one I was given though, and it was already like 7 years old when I got it. And that was like 6 or 7 years ago. And my thought was, well, how long can it hold water and do its thing and, have a cycle without a filter on it and, for instance, hold rice fish? And I basically am done with the experiment, which is basically that you can do that indefinitely. You can do that indefinitely, but you do start getting hypoxic water, and you do need to do water changes because the water becomes very stagnant, and the biological load that it bears is very, very high. And that is not good for a lot of our little fishy friends. So one of the next species spotlights I want to do is going to be on these guys. These are a really fascinating rainbow fish. They'd never get very big. I would say 2 inches is the very max, but most of them are more like 1.5 inches, like that one there. And they're wider and beefier than, say, the thread fins like you see swimming around with them, or the neon, the little pseudomagills, the Gertrudes or the neons. But the Solhulensis, that's what these are called, Chilatharena soluensis, they are a really fascinating fish that is just not talked about in the hobby much, but there's a bunch of collection points of them that are subtly different with like white colors and all sorts of different like black and orange and red spots versus different patterns and things from all over Australia. Uh, so it's kind of interesting. Also, what's going on in here? Like I said, I'm trying to bring back my shrimp colonies. So in here, we've got some general shrimp. In here, we've got the old blue and red colony that is just, this is like a planaria farm, guys. But I actually take planaria, I scrape it off the glass, these guys, and literally I can get dozens and dozens of planaria, and then I feed them to this tank here, the barbs, and moreover these hovering loaches. They'll each eat maybe 20 to 30 a night, every single night, and yet more, more keep appearing, which is frustrating. These bettas, I thought I had an all red female, and now she's turning Nemo, which is interesting. She's getting the Nemo yellow and red patterns, and then this one is kind of like a. I don't like those long fins that are all ragged looking, but it's also getting these red spots like that are part of its pattern. Um, but yeah, they're kind of interesting, and they made a nest, and they had fry, they had eggs, and then they just stopped. They just stopped protecting them, and they gave up. I don't know what happened. I'm hoping they'll try again, but something either stressed them out or something. So, but what I was going to tell you guys is that we are in baby season, in that I'm not even necessarily trying or doing anything different. But we're in the time of the year where like these little Danios, their bellies are super full of eggs. The females are so ready to go somewhere and lay eggs. And also these wild honey gouramis. This is what they look like before they selectively bred them the last 60 years to be yellow. They do still turn yellow when they spawn, but that's a male right there. That's as much yellow as you should expect on an average day. But they do turn fully yellow when they spawn. So that's all going on. I'm also leaving this mess of a tank just to see what happens. We're seeing the planaria all of a sudden erupt, and it's like, where did they come from? We're seeing that the snails, I moved most of the snails, but still we're seeing that some of the snails are in here. They're doing well. We're also seeing detritus worms all over, the little skinny ones without the triangular head. We're also seeing paramecium and all sorts of little organisms in here that are growing now that the shrimp are gone, and there's this excess energy, even just of whatever I guess they metabolized in here. So it's not that interesting. I'm just am kind of seeing if anything interesting randomly happens in a month or so. But then I'll give up. Basically, scuds are also appearing, which I thought I had gotten rid of most of them. And then in this tank next door, we've still got the one-line cichlids. They're still eating scuds and planaria now. And then over here, let me get you guys over here, and then I'll get back to chat too, I promise. We've got kind of an interesting thing going on if they'll show up. We had some babies, and the parents were very viciously circling like sharks. And this is in the Liberty Molly tank. And like, yeah, literally they were circling like in a movie, the way sharks would circle people like knocked out of a boat or something. And I found that kind of interesting, a little disturbing, just because, they're live bearers or whatever, and I thought that they'd at least let their young be for a few days or whatever, but no, it was the first or second day that they've had babies since I've had them, and they're already, it's setting in that they want to eat them. Also, put some new snails in here. This is that really hard water tank. It's almost brackish, literally. It's so hard that it's killing even like the val. Some of it is not doing so hot. The water lettuce has totally like it'll do okay for a little tiny while, enough to like spread one little chunk of its leaf, and then it just melts and dies. Oh, I see a baby. Where did it go? Um, so, where are you, baby? Um, but the babies are really unremarkable for Liberty Molly. I thought they might have, I don't know, banding or something interesting, an orange spot on their side or something. But no, they're just little gray to black colored fish. Um, and they're just doing their thing, but they're hanging out, hiding up in all of this floating leaf debris. And as I said, they're kind of losing the leaf debris because it's melting. So I don't know if they're gonna survive that long. I think mom and dad are gonna eat them. I think there were already quite a few more, and that they have already been eradicated. But let's see if we can find one for y'all to look at. There are two still in here that I saw, but I just couldn't get a focus on them. Good for the camera for you guys. Um, but I thought the babies might hide lower, thinking just that that would be a good evolutionary plan. But no, they hide right where their parents hunt, which is up top. And I mean, so be it. I guess it works in the wild. It may not work in a 20 long, but it works in the wild. Um, Also, this tank, the Liberty Mollies, they love algae. So this tank has lots of leaves. I put a bunch of willow leaves in here. And then there's some little snails in here, the gold ones. But yeah. What? The cat's... She was just here a minute ago. Where's the cat? Ava! There she is! My wife just got home, guys. Sorry about that. She was curious as to where the cat was. And there she is with the cat. She needs to work on her being held skills. She doesn't get it. Ava.
That's not her name.
That's not her name. Ivy. Anyways. Let me sit down, guys, and I will look at what y'all are saying in the chat. And we'll see if any of my female... Speaking of my female harem, we're going to see if any of the other scarlet baddis females want to make themselves known. The other night, both came out, and the male came out. Male's nothing to write home about. He's bold. He comes and shows himself all the time. But having the female baddis out, and the chili rasboras, and all these little live bearers. So these live bearers are bizarre. Before I read the comments, you guys, these little live bearers are the metallic live bearers, the black-throated metallic live bearers, and they all were born to a female, and she was the last female in this entire colony or tank. All the males died first, and I had them for over a year, and then all of a sudden a few of the males died, then one of the females died, and then I didn't really watch super closely, and they were in here with some pygmaeus swordtails, that were all male, apparently. And I just kind of ignored them, but came back, and there was only one female left, and she had a giant belly, and there were no babies. And I thought, oh man, I'm gonna lose this whole colony. But wouldn't you know, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 11 or 12 of these babies that she gave birth to. And literally within 2 or 3 days of her giving birth, she died. So I don't know what's up with them. The TDS is hard, like the way they're supposed to like it. I don't know. But just figured I'd tell you guys that quirky bit of what's going on in this tank. Alex, perhaps check the koi name and pictures of Shiro Yutsuri or Shiro Sumi, black and white in Japanese. Yeah, awesome. Alex, how's your crab doing? Oh, I hate that thing. I hate that crab. I hate that crab so much. That crab has wrecked that tank. I mean, you guys can see that I have a few tanks that just need to be reset. They're kind of wrecked. And others that are like doing well, but they're pretty algae-ish, and you know, they could use an overhaul. These babies are growing quickly. All the little goodied babies are growing super fast, and there are just a ton of them. I mean, I don't know how many there are. There's probably 50 of them, and that's like a conservative guess. There's probably 50 of them. And she's about ready to have more, I think. Yeah, there's only 2 adults in that whole tank. And I'm just shocked that there are so many babies. Ooh, look how pretty you are. Very pretty. And the Sahulensis fish, also looking pretty. Doing their thing. The crab, though. The crab is bane of my fish room at the moment. Not like Batman, like, oh, bane, but like the bane of my existence. So the crab is right over here, right there, that little light spot. That's the freaking crab. Right here, it's on the move now. Right here, it's on the move now. It's headed this way. But I hate this crab. I want it gone. It has done nothing helpful for the fish room. Also, male and female betta doing what for me? Well, they made some little bubbles over here. I'm trying this new approach that this Asian breeder told me about, where they use really shallow tanks, like 3 inches of water, and the male and female, they put on so much more weight keeping them in this shallow of a tank. It's very odd. I can't say for sure that that would happen every time, but they sure did this time. They sure put on a ton of weight. Very interesting. And these guys, they don't put on weight unless I feed them planaria, because they've eaten all the planaria in their own tank. These are the ones that I spawned myself. And yeah, they're just doing their thing. But yeah, back to this tank with the crab in it. You can see I've got Von Rio Tetra, Flame Tetra. I've also got checkerboard cichlids, and I've got Corydoras. I've got the wild gouramis. I've got the Daniel or the Danios, and the Mate, Rio Mates. And it's just all erupting in algae, because the crab will come and take something and rip it apart and just leave it all over, and it'll eat some things. It'll basically fight off everyone else for scraps of food. It'll scare all the cories that are in here that are hiding underneath the filter right now. It's just not a good situation. I need to get rid of that crab. I'm really sick of it, but I haven't had the heart to just, like, you know, gank it out of there. But yeah. Also, our beautiful, my wife's doing again, Betty White, the angelfish that kills everything. She kills all her mates. She kills all her hopes and dreams, all my hopes and dreams. She's bad to the bone, this one here. She's huge. I mean, she is literally palm size. She's the size of my whole palm. And if she puts her full extensions out, if this tank's fully filled, she can reach from about here to here. So she does deserve a bigger tank, but she will literally kill anything short of like a green terror. So I don't know who is gonna want her, and who would ever sacrifice a big happy ecosystem tank to her when she's such a monster. I just don't know. Male. Yes, you're right. It is a male. I don't know why I said her. I've got her in my brain because of the cat. But, yeah, it's a male angelfish. And that's what's extra funny because my wife named it Betty White. And then that's the one that ended up being a male. Yes, correct. Let's see here. I know. What's with it, guys? I keep getting, I wish you could take it off my hands too, hydrocooled carrot. Jessica, Alex, what's up with my Episto D Reds? Is it normal for the female to run the tank? Are you saying like she literally runs the tank or runs like she hides? Because it's not unusual for Epistos to have a bossy female, and for a female to sometimes be the one who stakes the territory more than the male. This female squabbles with this male a little bit, but I mean, at the end of the day, he wins, and he's more powerful at the end of the day. If that were not the case, I don't know how everything would end. Also, another interesting thing I want to show you guys. So, my lovely rainbow fish, they're supposed to look like these ones, right? Then there's one that has a red band on its tail. That is literally, it broke its tail, I believe, unless anybody has seen this for any other reason. But it had a crooked tail for a few weeks. And ever since, it's had like a hematoma or something. Like it looks like blood underneath the tissue. And it's just filled with like a layer there that's like a bruise or blood right there on the back of the tail. Very odd. So I'd like to know if anybody knows that if that's what that is for sure. I mean, I'm just guessing because her tail was kind of crooked for a little while there for a couple weeks, and then it kind of righted itself. It righted its wrongs. I don't even know where the heck my baddis are. Like, they have a smorgasbord of shrimp and scuds and little planaria and detritus worms, and I don't even know where they ran off to. All the tanks need a good scrubbing, though, that's for sure. And this tank, which I just treated for blue-green algae, cyanobacteria, we got some of the second batch of Maha chiensis female in here, which these are beta embolus, these other ones. So I got 5 or 6 beta embolus still, and then 3 beta Maha chiensis females randomly in here, and then the Maha chiensis adults are here. And then my Megoptera is right here, being a big old brute bulldog with that crazy mouth and beauty. Look at that. I need to get a new female for him or her. I think it's that way. I think I don't know. Guys, I could be confused. Maybe I need a new male for her. I think it's a female though. Let's see here. Cave of Wonders, what's up? Yeah, the eggs could be in the cave if yeah, as Mick says, she could already have eggs hidden somewhere if she's being real standoffish. Um, yeah, as Mick just said, if the females run the tank, it's probably because they're a little larger than the male. It's okay. The male may grow to kind of overpower her one day. Um, but sometimes you might want to just change the male, get a bigger male or a stronger male, because the dynamic is a little screwy there in who's gonna spawning responsibilities, I suppose is how you'd put it. So here we've got, there's the little scarlet baddis. Gotta love these guys. They've gotten so expensive because they're almost all wild caught, other than a few hobbyist breeders. And I'm proud to say that I have definitely contributed to the number of people who breed these in captivity big time. I was selling female and male pairs for a number of years, as well as some hybridized stuff I was playing with that I got rid of all of them because they were terrors. But yeah, they're in here right now, and I'm not seeing the females, but I always like to point out what a female baddis looks like, just for those who are curious, because a lot of people think they know, and then when I show them literally how plain they have to look, they're like, "Oh, I thought I had a female, but that is like, there's no red, there's no iridescence other than right behind the eye spot or the gill flap, the gill covering." Let's see here. Female looks full, doesn't lay. Okay, Oh, Kid Kamikaze, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah, and Hydrocool Carrot brings up an excellent point. If you want to tap that screen twice, I would love y'all for it, because hey, look at this, by the way. The Amano shrimp. So all Amano shrimp are color changers by, like, I don't know, by the sheer fact that they are Amano shrimp, or not Amano, guys, sorry. Um but Malawa shrimp. But some of them will turn colors of the other shrimp they're with. And I thought for a long time that this was like them hybridizing. So I literally thought, oh wow, the Malawas are crossing with the blue dreams that I kept, Neocaradinas. And that's not what was going on. But the very real thing that was going on was the Malawas were turning blue to fit in with the other shrimp that were more populous at the time. But in this tank right now, you can see this like reddish bronze color that they can turn very easily. And a lot of the shrimps in here have that color palette. And I think it's because of the baddis and these little chili rasboras, which I find really interesting. The fact that like they've kind of got a red thing going on here. And if I get something like a stick here, we can look and see what the other shrimp are looking like in there too. Or I guess I could just do this. But yeah, really trying to get my Malawa colony back to what it was. And I don't know if there's any good way to do that short of a 40 breeder. Like, a 40 breeder is the best way to go for, I mean, really kicking it up a notch. And you really get the, oh yeah, so here's more of those shrimp, guys. Here's another one that's got like a copper or red tone. There's another one, so the original one we were looking at that has that copper to red. And then there's another one that I just saw. Where'd it go? Oh yeah, there it comes. Flying up. That has like a purple with a little bit of red in the back there. Let's see who else we scare up. See if anybody else down here wants to come out and boogie down. Boogie down production, duction. That one's eating something that's making it even pinker. Oh, and there we've got our little scarlet baddis again, doing his thing in the same water as all these chili raspberries and all these little critters, little organisms. And let's see, I don't see a nest yet. Pardon the beeps and boops on the phone. But yeah, I don't see any females. It's back there, but I don't see any females coming forward, nor do I see any nest territory that the male is seemingly guarding. A lot of times, when I've checked on these little guys, the female's guarding right back here. And I don't know where she is. But again, the water's gotten very hard in here to the point where the hornwort is falling apart. So literally, I should probably take out a good chunk of this hornwort. It will just start to lose its. It will lose its springiness. It will lose its color, and then all this stuff will just fall apart and just be a mess, which is, as you would imagine, a mess. Hello, little baddis, hanging out. Baddis, sitting in the sea. Where, oh where, could the female baddis be? She went to the market to fix herself a drink. I don't know. And then this little goby, man, guys, he's been going on for 3 years. I don't know how long these guys are supposed to live, but I'm impressed. I'm impressed by the little gobus. Nanofish I love because every, 5, 10 years, you've completely reset everything. And some people think that's a bummer, but I like it just because, cats and dogs, I don't want to reset them. I really get attached to them. But, fish, for the most part, I'll be okay if I have to make some new friendships in my fish world. These guys are just begging right now. They want what they want is they want shrimp, they want planaria, they want scuds and paramecium. They want all of this stuff. They want all the gross things in the fish room, and they want them now. The other thing that hasn't happened for us on a live stream yet is the eel hasn't come out. And that's a bummer for me, because the eel's been coming out a lot lately, a lot more. So hopefully we'll get that guy coming and hanging out with us again soon. Here are those mollies again. I'll try to get some footage for you guys of what the little fry look like. Again, like I said, they're not super great. They're kind of boring, honestly. But the other thing going on in here is we had some interesting fry. Look at these little guys, everybody. Little orange guys. Albino and orange. So we got 1, 2 back in that corner, 3, 4 here, and then 5, and then a 6, and then in here with the blue Malawa tank. Now, not all of these Malawas are fully blue, but they're ones that at least color up blue. At least once I saw them color up blue and grabbed them. I didn't cull them this round like I did the first time I ever tried this, where I literally threw everything away that was not blue enough. Like this one's like really blue, but when they're stressed they all can turn clear, but this one is very, very blue. And I that's like, that much blue or more is my standard. But this one will have the ability to color up that blue if it wants and if it sees the other ones doing it. And so I was torn, and genetically this round, I'm going to not be as strict and see what happens. It may be a total failure. It may be that I need to be strict or even stricter. But we'll see. Okay, so then this tank, we've got the what's kind of funny is in this tank we thought these were both these fish were supposed to be Kalitawa, beautiful rainbow fish. That's definitely a Kalitawa back there with the red tail, and that's a Kalitawa. And I think there's a total of 4 Kalitawas right now. There's 3 females and 1 male that are in this tank. But it's definitely, we've got, I don't know what these other ones are, but they're not Kalitawas. They've got lines. They're like Trilineatus or something. So we'll have to find out what the ones with the lines are. Hey, Yo-Yo Loach, how are you doing, buddy? Everybody got, just the other day, everybody, and these Rasbora hets are getting monstrous. Some of them are like the size of these swordfish, which is goofy. Like this one here, man. Yeah. But they're looking good. I think I might try to spawn them. So that's another thing is, you hear me saying, oh, I'm gonna spawn this, I'm gonna spawn that. And do I want to use this big tank as like a grow out thing? You guys know how much I've been going back and forth. I've got room for another 20 long up there or over there, or a 10 or 5s or whatever. And this, we're going to get rid of this crab setup because right now it's just a hospital tank for my 4 gold shrimp that are left. And what's more than that is actually this is where I put all the pink scuds. But I learned something about scuds that are red or pink, and that is that it's more of a species thing, I think, because there's a few that stayed that way in here that are very clearly a different species that I think I just collected locally that were in one of these tanks, and I kept finding them in this tank right here, these red ones, over and over and over. And the other ones are more just pink because they ate something like this that makes them kind of pink. So long story short, I think we have to abandon the plan and more track down actual what species it is that that has the pink color to all the scuds in it. So that's the story. I'm sticking to it, I guess. We'll work our way out there. Yeah.
Her first time on the couch, at least that I've seen.
Yeah, first time I've seen her up there.
Hey.
Now she's gonna wreck everything. No, she's trying to chew that plant is what she's doing. She's trying to kill the rest of my papyrus.
Hey. No. No. She's gonna go right back up there.
Yeah, that'll show her.
No.
Come.
Honey.
Are you gonna eat that entire papyrus plant?
Has she been up here today?
No. She just figured out
This is what I'm worried about.
level 12 cat that she can get up there. Come on. Silky. Not Silky. You're not Silky. Where's your toy? will give me her toy. Ava! We're trying to name her during the live stream, honey.
Are you still live streaming?
Yeah. Come on. Come on. Ignore those plants. Do not eat my papyrus. I only have half of it left. Not papaya, papyrus. She's clearly an Egyptian cat. Okay. So, where are we at, guys? Boy, that fish room is hot, by the way. And somebody did, they're going to start a pot. Which tank will be the first one to get the cat in it first?
What is this? Adorable?
Hold on. So do I separate rarities? With shrimp, if I'm trying to breed a specific kind, yes, I will separate whatever it is that I'm looking for. And I will try to usually get a few males or females. Wow, really? This isn't gonna... Oh, there we go. A few males or females, and just start with all blue females. Then I'll look for the best males. And the thing is, if your females are blue, you know they're contributing half of the genetics, and they can make a whole lot of babies. But worst case scenario, if you're looking for the blue females, you might get babies where it skips a generation and you only get 25% that is true, at least in the case of the Malawa shrimp. Now, other shrimp, it's more complex, but there's luckily only one gene for the color on these Malawas that I've seen. And basically I try to do that, then I try to get the males, then I'll put them together. And if I can't find a male rare one in the Malawa Caridina, pair dentata Caridina group, then yeah, I'll sometimes just let them breed and see their babies, make sure that they stay together with the parents, so that when they cross back, there's a higher chance. So that it's not just a 25% chance, but it's a 50% chance if they cross with a parent that's got the recessive. Shaken bottles. Alex, quick question, totally off topic, but what is your top, medium, low light, slow flow, black water type plant that absorbs the most night? Oh, wow. We're getting specific. What is your top, medium to low light, slow flow, black water type plant? Well, water lettuce, probably. As long as it's not crazy acidic, water lettuce. Duckweed too, but water lettuce will literally pull nitrates out of there like there's no tomorrow. If your tank is at all hard though, it will fall apart like the biggest mess on earth. So same with, kabamba, same with hornwort. Those are great, but they will fall apart like there's no tomorrow into just straw, dust, and slimy noodles of grass if you don't watch out. Yeah, and for anybody who's not in the Discord yet, come on over and join us in the Discord. There is a free section, and there's also a pay-to-play section. And yes, poke squid, papyrus is a relative of the same kind they used to make paper in Egypt. Mick, thanks, buddy. I appreciate you throwing the link up, buddy. Kid Kamikaze, what's up? We got a super chat. I appreciate that so much, my friend. Thank you so much. Very, very nice of you. It won't let you in Discord. Kitty suggestion, red. The marks on her head look like floating plants. Red root floaters. Yeah, she looks like Sumi ink, too. Like ink spelled all over her. I was thinking about Inky. Inky is like, then I think of Enkidu, which is like, the Babylonian Gilgamesh epic, but I don't know. I have all these nerdy history reference jokes that I want to use, but I don't think the wife's gonna go for that unless it's also just adorable by coincidence. But Kid Kamikaze, it says it is your first super on the live stream, so thank you very much, buddy. I do appreciate it, my friend. Every tank is different, no matter how similar. There are no hard, quick solutions to fish keeping. So the best you can do is arm yourself with knowledge. Yeah, that is right. Know why you're doing things and try to just change one thing at a time. Change one thing because then you know, oh, X changed and Y and Z happened. Whereas if you change X and W, was it X or W? Did W contribute to X? Do they both have to happen in order to make that happen? And once you know your systems really well, you'll start to realize when something's different or off, especially over like a decade of fish keeping. You really start to get this instinctual, like, I don't know why, but that tank looks like something's wrong. And you'll test the parameters, and sure enough, you'll have spotted something you can't even put your finger on and caught that there's something up with it. So all of this fish keeping, if you want to do, filterless, deep substrate, you want to have dense amounts of fish, not do water changes, you want your fish to mostly eat an ecosystem that's in their tank and only supplementally feed a little bit. All of that stuff, it's all achievable. You can learn about it and you can be empowered as a fish keeper to take those steps and try those things. But it also has to do with how tolerant you are to risk, because anything you do like that, you are kind of getting rid of some of the redundancy in safety. For instance, if you get rid of your mechanical filter, that was designed to be that way for a reason. And it's so when people mess up, you have some wiggle room. But, yeah. When you don't do that, you have very little wiggle room. Let's see here. Stephen P, what's up, buddy? Yes, the intuitive keeping goes alongside your experience and knowledge. Oh, 100%. And it's not useful for me to tell anybody else. Oh, you'll know when something's wrong, because you won't unless you already know enough that you don't need to ask that question and you can already sense it. So yeah, you can try a different invite to the Discord, maybe the one in the description tonight. That should be a fresh one. Hopefully, or message me, leave a comment under this video when it uploads, and I can send out Discord invites to anybody who can't get in or having trouble, and we can figure it out. Oh, your sparkling gouramis are croaking. Pets Corner, right on. Very cool. So guys, do we have any last thoughts, fleeting moments of ingenious, I don't know, ingenuity? No. Any thoughts to complete the circle? Because I also wanted to let you know that there is a new kind of blueberry snail. And it is out right now at Moonlight Aquatics, and it is bright orange. The shell is like an orange, peach, and rose color, rather than that brown and mahogany red to purple color. It's like a beautiful, like peachy sunset color, and it's really cool. Same exact price. I think he only imported 200 because he'd never seen them with his own eyes, Chang. But they're there right now, and they are still a live birth snail. They need hard water, but they're live birth snail, fresh water. So yeah. Hello from Santiago de Chile. Ya te sigo en Discord. Okay. Bien. Oui. Oh wait, that's the wrong language. Niet. Nope, still wrong. No, cool. No, that's Kalahari. I guess just hey in English. Yeah, I know. It means he follows me on Discord. Uh, Thank you, though, Jessica. I appreciate it. Ah. Bien. But I am forgetting now, like totally forgetting. Muy, uh, mucho, muy, what? How do you say good? Great. I mean, also just gracias. That's, thank you. Thank you for being a part of that, buddy. Man, I would love to go travel down to Chile. This looks like a beautiful country for real. Uh, Muy bien. Okay. Bueno. Bueno. That's it. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why that was so hard for me. Bueno. When I try to think from French to Spanish, my brain like breaks. I don't know why. My wife and I went to France like 8 years ago, and my French came back like that because I had my previous fiance from college, my days in grad school. She was French and German, and her family talked only in French. And so in the house, I was like, you know what? Let's just keep doing that because I had 2 years of French in school, but I was like, I want to go travel to France. And if my girlfriend, for several years is speaking only French at home, like I should get pretty good at it. So we kind of did that. But then I went to family dinner at her house the second Christmas we were together, flew out from college and went and met that. And just, man, it was beautiful to see, but crazy because her brother he lives in Poland and he has for 20 years. He's an interpreter of Polish and Ukrainian and Russian into German and French. And his wife is Ukrainian, and her family obviously it was Ukrainian and has moved to the US and was there. So we had Ukrainian speaking going on, and then her dad's German and her mom's French, but they met in Berlin because the mom went to school in Berlin. So they speak where the mom would speak in just total fluent quick French, and the father would speak in low German like very quickly or whatever and they'd be talking in those languages, and then the kids, her brother and her older brother and then her younger brother were also speaking English, but her dad didn't speak English. He was a neurosurgeon, and he spoke Spanish and German and French, but not very good English. And we played Pictionary one night, and we're snowed in at her house. And it was, oh man, it was just, I mean, it was really interesting because the mutual intelligibility, everybody in the Ukrainian family could at least understand French or German or English. The kids all speak English, obviously. They grew up in the U.S. at least half of their life. And then the parents are speaking French and speaking German. And I'm just there trying to keep up with a little bit of French, a little bit of Spanish, and then obviously English. But I just can't believe we played Pictionary. And her dad is this big German guy, and this was really the first time I'd ever met him. And he got up and I can't remember what the word was describing, but the mother was on his team, and they were working together as a team, and my girlfriend, their daughter, and I were on a team, and then, so on and so forth. There were teams, but he said something, and he had to write the word in English, and he wrote the word that's apparently like perfect for it in German. And then he wrote a word for it in French that was pretty good. And then he wrote a word in Spanish, but they're like, Dad, you gotta say it in English. And he's like, there's no word for it. This stupid language has no word for it, and he just got so irate. And that literally ended the game. And then we like all went back up to our rooms. But, it was snowing, so we went sledding. But very interesting evening. I'll always remember that pretty fondly and awkwardly. Yeah. All right, you guys. So just I guess I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna hit this hot dog stand. I'm gonna blow this popsicle joint, and I'm gonna hit blow this something or other. You don't understand how great it is to know many languages until you're an adult. Just saying. Yeah, I know. And to them, like when they were kids, they all just spoke this like crazy mismatched language. And so it's just like, wow, they have the perfect word for like anything you can imagine, especially with German, where you can just like string any words together to make the perfect word for your situation. But anyhow, um, oh yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate everyone sounding off on the last video as well. It got a good amount of views on the first day, I must say, which is a bit of a bummer because I thought about making it in a totally positive light. Like, these are the ways we can help the fish community, but nobody would click that. And I know that's the truth at the end of the day. I probably wouldn't click that. I would say, what a pompous thing to say. Like, what's best for the fish community. But really what I mean is like, together we should come up with some ways to help mediate and communicate. But we're going to do that in the Discord here on this channel, if it's the last thing I ever do. So, yeah. All right, guys. Well, I will see you over on the Discord. I may stream another time this week. I say that a lot, but like this week, I don't know if I want to make a video. I might just like hop online and look up the new species of fish that they've discovered in the last month or something like that with y'all. Something fun like that. But yeah, I always appreciate the time with you guys when we do these streams, and they are very valuable to me. Hope you guys are all doing well and your critters are doing well, and thanks for spending some time with me. Thank you so much to the super chatters tonight, to the super chatters ever, to the viewers always, and nobody should ever feel obligated or guilty for not super chatting, like always, of course, but it is appreciated. Thank you. And same with subscriptions or liking or commenting or even watching, period. But I'm honored by all of it, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening, including those of you who made it this far and you're in the future. You're watching this as a replay, and you're future people. So if you're future people and you want to let us know that you made it this far, just sign your comment, future people. All right, guys. Thanks, and we got to name the kitty. There's the thing up on Discord about it too. So, yeah. All right, guys. Take care. Have a wundervoll night, a wundervoll Nacht, and I will see you mañana. Maybe Friday. Check my email. Oh, right, I will. I actually have a lot of emails, so I will do that. All right. Bye, guys. Much love. Much love. Papa was a rodeo, Mama was a rock and roll band.